So today as the first topic we are going to look into how to create the database manually. So yesterday we saw how to create the database using a tool called DBCA. So we will be following the steps what is there in the class notes. So let me open the class notes also. Okay. So in your class notes you have this particular heading, steps to create the database manually. So we are going to follow the same steps and we are going to create one database. So the first step is you need to copy any existing database P file to a new name. So I have a server here by the name PC20, and on this server I have a database already which is by the name of ProdDB. So as per the first step here, you need to copy any existing database P file with a new name. So for that, once you create the database either using DBCA or either using manual method, you are going to use a command sql plus / as sysdba in order to connect to the database. So normally while creating the database, if you remember yesterday, it will create two users. One is sys user and other one is system user. So what is / is going to represent here is sys as sysdba. So usually it is as written like this, sql plus sys as sysdba. So sys as of now you can understand that sys is the super user of the database, and we will talk about what is sysdba and why we are connecting like this in user management. So till that time you need to wait for some time, and instead of representing or writing down as sys, even we can represent that with a slash. So while pronouncing it, we need to call it as sql plus / as sysdba. So we are going to use this command every time in order to connect to the database, and as I said, sys is the super user of the database which can do any activity. So let us connect to the existing database. So I have connected to already existing database and my database name is ProdDB. So now what I will be doing is I will take the P file of this ProdDB, and based on that P file I am going to create one more database. So if I want to take out the P file for this database, first of all I need to know whether this database is using SP file or P file, and for that I am going to use this command in order to identify that. So when you run this command show parameter SP file, if you see some value over here in the value column, then it means that your database is using SP file. Suppose if your database is using P file, then you would be seeing a blank value over there. There will be a null value. So this is the command show parameter SP file is the command to define or to decide whether your database is using SP file or P file. So because now we are using SP file, and you know already SP file is a binary version, so we can't actually go and do changes in it. So we need to create a P file from it. So we have already a command like create p file from sp file. So this command will create a p file in the Oracle home DBS location. So now I am exiting from the SQL prompt and then moving to Oracle home DBS location, and here you can see my p file. So as per the first step here, what we need to do is copy any existing database p file with a new name. So this is my existing database p file, and I am doing it a copy, and I want to copy it something like this, init dev.ora. So that means I want to create my database with the name dev. So that is how first step is done. And when you say lsf in LTR, you can see your new file, your new p file with the name init dev.ora. Suppose if on a server no database is existing, then what you need to do is you need to just copy the p file from any other machine. So in this machine, if no database is already running, then you need to go to the next machine, which is or where you have the database created. Just take that, and you need to just copy into the other server using scp command and all. So now let's go for the second point. So second point says open the p file whatever you have created with VA editor, and you need to do the necessary changes like the changing database name and changing the location of trace files, etc., etc. So let us go and do that. So I am opening this p file with VA editor because p file is a text file, we know it already. And when you open the p file, you would be seeing options like this. So here the thing is, wherever you see prod.db, so in the first line, second line, or wherever it is, so wherever you see prod.db, you need to just replace that with the string dev, because we want our database name to be dev. For that, we are going to use this command %s / your old string. So here in my case, old string is prod.db, and the new string, that is dev/g. So this is the command we need to use in VA editor in order to replace a string. So basically here what we are doing is %s, where %s stands for the string, and / your old string value, that is prod.db. Then again give a / and say dev, that is the new value that I want to replace. And when I say /g, it is going to replace an entire file at a single shot. And the moment you do this, you can see now wherever earlier prod.db is there, now everywhere it was changed to dev. So once you do this change, it is better to travel each and every line and confirm whether everything was perfect or not. For example, here you can see this dev is fine, okay, or even you can see over here, so something like that. And the main important thing is database name. So is database name changed to dev or not? So you need to look into that one also. So like this, you need to look into all the lines, and once you confirm that everything is fine with this, then you need to save this file. So I am saving and quitting. So you need to do that. So any queries over here before we proceed for the next step? So till now we performed 2 steps. Step number 1, we copied the existing database p file. If the existing database p file is not there, so from sp file we created p file, and as a second step we opened that p file with VA editor and we did the necessary changes, like we replaced the earlier database name with the new database name. So anybody is having any queries, let me know. Otherwise, we will proceed to the next step. Okay. So then let's proceed for the third step. The third step is create the necessary directories what you have mentioned in the P file. So I'm just saying init dev.rs. So I'm using a cat command, and you people know what a cat command will do. It is going to display the content of the file in a single shot. So what we need to do is, here all these directories like A dump, then B dump, etc. will not be existing at physical layer. So you will be having only till U01 or .10 admin. So if you look at here under U01 or 10G admin, you have only prod DB, but dev under that dev is not there, and again under dev A dump, B dump, all these are not there. So what we are going to do is, we are going to create those directories with the help of this command mkdir-p. So you know already what mkdir-p will do. It will create the main directory and as well as the subdirectories in a single shot. So similarly, we are going to create bdump and cdump and udump. So we are going to create all these directories. Then we are going to create the next directory structure, that is U01 or 10G or data / dev. So we are going to create this one also, and then U01 or 10G flash recovery area. So you need to even create that one. And then U02 archives. So if at all you require, this is for archive destination. Then udump I have created it already. Then cdump also I have created it already. So this is what basically the third step means. Yes, Sanjay, exactly. We need to create all the destinations. Whatever the directories that are there in P file, we need to create those directories as it is. So this will be the third step. And coming to the fourth step, you need to copy the database creation script to the server, and you need to edit it according to your need. So there is a database creation script. Let me show you that script here. So this will be the script that you have. So for example, I am taking the second one. So this is the script that you have. So what you need to do is just copy this and copy it into any file over here. So open any new file with editor. Usually I have the habit of naming the file as crdb.sql, which stands for create database.sql. And whatever the content you copied from Notepad, you need to just paste it here, and then you need to do the necessary changes. So the necessary changes starts with the first one, that is database name. So because I am using the same database name dev, in the first line I don't have anything to change. But in case if you are using a different name, then you need to modify that name accordingly. Then about the redo log file, file names and file location. So my file location I want to be stored in U01 or our data, then dev. So that's the reason I am using that one here. And the size I am maintaining it as same. Okay, so whatever the locations we have, I'm just giving the locations as it is, and the same thing for even the data files like system data file. So the first one is system data file. Right now whatever I am changing, and then we have sysocs. So we know already 10G and 11G is having, or from 10G onwards we have a new table space called sysocs. So we need to do that, and then undo table space. And finally temp table space. So this is what the changes that you need to do. So if you are using a different database name, you need to give different name for it. Then you need to change all the file locations. So once you have this file, or once you complete doing the changes, just save and quit the file. Then as a next step, you need to export Oracle SID, and for that you are going to use this command. So you need to say export Oracle underscore SID equals to dev. And just a minute, there is a small change in the location. So actually it is U01 or R10G, so there is this line also included. Okay, so I just modified the correct location. So because here the directory structure I have created is U01 or R10G or R data DEV. So that's the reason in crdb.sql also I have done the same. Okay, we have a query. crdb.sql is an empty file, Sanjay, that I have created, and I have copied the database creation script into that particular file. So now, yeah, as in the fifth step, I need to export Oracle SID. I already did that here. So then you need to connect to SQL Plus. So again, how we will be connecting is using the same command, SQL Plus / as sysdva. Oracle SID is nothing but instance name honey. Oracle home is the location where Oracle software is installed, and Oracle SID means the instance name. Usually, if you recollect the one of the point in architecture, we said that usually the instance name and the database name would be same, but in some of the cases you can have a different instance name and a different database name. Suppose your instance name is ABC, you can have your database name as XYZ, and that is for security reasons. So what normally Oracle SID is going to represent instance name, not the database name. if your instance name is ABC, you can do that. But if your database name is ABC and your instance name is XYZ, then you need to use XYZ only. SID always should refer to instance name, not the database name. So is that clear? So any queries from anyone? Yes, we need to create the database manually, but without instance how you will connect to database, or without instance how a database will exist? Because you have seen already, database server is a combination of two components. One is instance and the other one is database. And every user who is connecting will connect to instance first in order to access database. So without instance you can't have a database directly. So that's the reason first we are preparing P file. So if you remember the startup phases again, while going from a closed state to no known state, you require P file or SP file, and that is what we did in the first step. So now what we are doing is, first we will start the instance. So it will go to no known phase, and in no known phase we will execute this script crdb.sql. And you have already seen that. So the script contains a command called create database. So that command will create the database for you. And also let me open another session here. So I just want to show about alert log also. So now you can see under bdump location I don't have any alert log file created. So after connecting to the database, the next step that we are going to do is we need to issue this command startup no mount. So the moment you issue startup no mount, here you can see one alert log will be created. And I am going to monitor it with the help of this command. So you can see here it is going to start all your background process. So what happens in no mode phase, you know it already. So we discussed in operating modes. So no mode phase instance is going to start, means all your background process and all will be started. And as a next step, we are going to execute this script. So the script name can be anything, depends on whatever you have written it. So we need to just say at the rate of crdb.sql. Suppose if your script is located in a specific location, then you need to write down that entire location. Suppose if my script is existing in U02, then I need to say at the rate the complete location / the file name. But if you are there in the present working directory, so where the script is existing, then you can directly run crdb.sql. And the moment I run this, see what's happening on the alert log. So you can see here, first it is creating system table space. So the moment you issue this command create database, the database name. This is the script we are using. The moment you do that, you can see control files will be created and even the database will go to mount mode. Because until unless control files are not there, you cannot go to mount mode. And once it goes to mount mode, it is going to create some table spaces. First system table space, then the undo table space. So undo table space is also completed. You can see this completed message here. And now it is creating sysops table space. So here you can see even sysops table space is also completed. Then finally it is creating temp table space, and that is also completed. And now everything is set ready. And if you come to other screen, you can see this message database created. So this is how we are going to create the database manually. So first we are going to prepare P file, and then we are going to use a script, and with the script we are going to create the database manually. So at the rate is like executing a file funny. For example, if you remember, while installation we are executing run installer file as /run installer. So what that / is going to represent is that you are going to execute that file. In the same way, at the rate symbol is going to specify that you want to execute that file. So, but things didn't completed here. We still have some steps to be executed. So, 8th step, it says once the database is created, it will be opened automatically. So, to verify whether the database is really opened or not, you can execute this select query. So read our database, and you can see the open mode here, which is in read write mode. So next you need to execute two scripts. One is catalog.sql, which is going to create data dictionary views and dynamic performance views. Hope you guys remembered about that. And then we need to execute one more script, that is catproc.sql, which is to create the packages and procedures that are helpful for DBA. So we need to execute the commands like here at the rate of Oracle home, RDBMS admin, then catalog.sql. So these files are going to reside in this location. $Oracle home, it's nothing but the location where you install Oracle software, then RDBMS admin. So let me execute these two scripts. So first catalog.sql and then catproc.sql. And while you can see here, it is going to create some comments or views, etc., etc. That means basically it is doing some changes to the database, and that is the reason whenever some change happen to the database, redo entries will be generated, and those redo entries will be written to redo log files. So that is the reason you can see the last line here. So right now log writer is writing into second file, that is where you can see the message as current. So catalog.sql got executed. So now we need to execute catproc.sql. So catproc.sql will take some time, maybe 5 minutes or so in order to execute it. So now you can see a log switch happened from second file to the third file. So you know that already that Oracle is going to write into multiple redo log files in a cyclic order. So it is switched from 2 to 3, and from 3 it will come back to 1, and 1 from 1 it will go back to 2. So this will, between 1, 2 and 3 files it is going to write in a cyclic order. Yes, now you can see it started writing into 1. Okay, so if you remember earlier, we are discussing about what is alert log and what it contains and all. And at the time I told you alert log is going to basically store the error information, and alert log will also give you the error information only in brief way. So it only tells you what error has occurred at what time, etc. But if you want a detailed information about the error, then you need to look into trace files. So that is what you can see here. There is some issue going on, and that is why you can see the messages. It's saying library cache object loaded into SGA, and the heap size so and so exceeds the notification threshold, and the details are in this particular trace file. So that means, there is some issue with heap size. That is nothing but basically the memory allocation. So, and if you want more information, you need to open this trace file and you need to have a look. So for example, let us open the trace file and have a look. So if you come down, so it's showing some memory addresses and all, which you may not understand or which we might not understand. So this information, if you couldn't able to understand, we can take help from Oracle support, and we can raise a request with them. So Oracle support is like a customer care. So we can actually tell whatever the problem we are facing to them, and they will give us the solution. So whenever you could not able to identify anything about trace file or anything from the alert log file, basically that is what we are going to do. So how we need to request Oracle support, what is the process we need to follow and all, we will be discussing that in future. So still catproc is getting executed. So any queries over here? Okay, so now even getproc.sql also got completed. So now we have the last and final step, that is add this database entry to a file called oratab file. So there will be a file called oratab. So I don't know how many of you remember this. This file is actually going to get created during the installation time. So after you do the installation, it is going to ask you, either it is 10G installation or 11G, it is going to ask you to execute two scripts as a root user. And when you execute a script called root.sh, so there are two scripts. One script name is inst root.sh, and the second script name is root.sh. So when you run this root.sh script, it is going to create this oratab file. And the basic purpose of oratab file is to store the database information. So if you have created 10 databases, all the 10 databases information will be getting this oratab file. But one problem with oratab file is oratab file will be updated only with the databases which are created using DBCA. So yesterday we have created one database using DBCA, and the name of that database is prod.db. That's the reason you can see that line in oratab. But whatever the database we created today manually, dev database, that entry is not there in oratab. So you can even read this description above whatever I am highlighting. So this file is used by Oracle utilities. It is created by root.sh and updated by database configuration assistant when creating a database. That means this file will get updated only if you create the database using DBCA. But if you create a database using manual procedure, then it is not going to get updated automatically. Rather, we need to modify it using vEditor. So I am adding a new line here. So the first column here is the database name, and second column is the Oracle home path, and the third column is to decide or to specify whether you want this database to start automatically when you are rebooting the operating system or not. So that means normally what happens is, if you install Oracle software and if you create one database on a Windows machine, if you restart Windows machine, even Oracle database also will be restarted automatically. But when it comes to Linux or any other Unix flavors, when you restart your operating system, your Oracle database will not start automatically. So it will be by default in disable mode, and we have some steps to be followed in order to make this enable. So one of those steps is to change this value, the third value, from N to S. So even you can read that over here. The third field indicates to the DB start utility that the database should, that means yes, or should not, which means Y, be brought up at the system boot time. So once you do this entry, save this oratab file, and that's it. With the step you are going to, successfully create your database manually. So any queries before we proceed for the next topic? Okay, so let us go for the next topic. So that is to automate the database startup. As I said, on Windows, if you create a database, whenever you reboot your Windows operating system, even the database also will be restarted. But on Linux, you need to do it manually. But rather than doing it manually, we can also automate that on Linux also. Let us go for those steps. So these steps are not there in class notes, but a document is available in my blog. If you go to my blog and click on important docs, you will be having a document by the name Automation of Database on Linux. So there is a document here. So you can open this document, and whatever the steps that are mentioned in the document, exactly you can follow the same steps. So let us go through the same steps, and we will see how we can automate the database startup. And well, before that, we have a query from Sanjay. Yes, Sanjay. Usually in real time, we will never create the database using manual procedure. The reason is manual process might be involved with some, you know, some steps could be missing, or some steps could be error prone. So that's the reason, creating database manually is very rare case. Always we will be using DBCA only. Okay, so this document is clearly defined with the screenshots also. So you can refer to that and you can configure the things. So the first thing is you need to log in as a root user. So here I have logged in as Oracle user. So let me switch to root user. So now I am there in root user. And second step, you need to check the user ID and the group ID. For that you can execute this command ID. So what you need to check is user ID should show you as root, GID also should show you as root. So both should show you as root. So just to get confirmation. And then to know how many databases got created with the location and the SID names, we need to verify in etc folder. So open the Aura tab file. So here we need to again issue vi etc Aura tab file. Then what we are doing here, there is a description in step number 5. Basically we are going to just say yes or no. So no means by default you don't want the database to start up. Yes means you want to start the database automatically. So here what I am doing is I am making prod_db as yes and I am making dev_db as no. That means if I restart this Linux machine, prod database will come up automatically, but whereas dev database will not start automatically. So for this reason you need to just say yes or no. And if you want both the database to be started, then for every database you need to say yes, yes and no. So once you do this change, you need to save the file. And then you need to go to a location called init.d under etc location. So under this you need to create a file by the name dbaura. So you need to just say vi dbaura. So it will create a new file for you. And in this document there is a script attached already. So just double click on this link. You will get the script. Copy the script as it is to the machine. So or copy the script as it is to the file. And after doing that copy, here you need to give your Oracle home path. So in my case, my Oracle home path is U01 ORA10G. So I am giving the same thing over here. And in your case, if it is a different location, you need to give that. And frankly, these two lines are not required. And then Aura owner. Aura owner is nothing but with what user you logged into the database, or sorry, with what user you logged into the server. For example, if you look at here, I logged into the system. So I logged into the system as Oracle user. So basically we need to do that thing over here. So you are going to specify that owner Oracle owner name over here. So once you do these two changes, save the file, and as a next step, you need to change the permissions of the file by using this command chmod 750 /etc init.d /dbora, and you are going to add this to the configuration. So for this you are going to use this command chconfig -add, then your location etc init.d, then dbora. Sorry, it's double hyphen. So you need to run that command. Now you can restart your OS using init6 command. So that's it. Our steps got completed with this. So once again I am repeating the steps. First you are going to log in as a root user. Then you are going to verify the username and the group name is root or not with the help of this ID command. Then you are opening the file you are opening the Aura tab file with vEditor, and you are going to do the changes accordingly. So what we are basically doing there is, wherever we see n, we are going to specify it as y. So which means you are agreeing or accepting to start the database automatically, and then you need to travel into a location called init.d, and under that you need to create one new file called dbora, and the script for this dbora you can get it from this Word document itself. And then you are going to change the permissions of the file to 750, and then you are going to execute this command chkconfig -add dbora. So this is how you are going to do the things. And now you need to say init6, and this command is to restart the server. So I am just initiating that. So when the server is available back, then I would be able to ping that. So till that time I need to wait. So meanwhile, are there any questions regarding the steps we followed? Yeah, that that is the actual script, Sanjay. So this is the one. So this is the script which will make the database automation. So if you look at the script here, it's basically a shell script. So if you look at the script here, start the Oracle databases, and for that we are going to use a command or we are going to use a utility called dbstart, and similarly stop databases. For that also we are going to use a utility called dbshut. So dbstart and dbshut are the utilities in order to start up or shut down the database. So this is a shell script. We need to just copy and paste and just change the location of Oracle home. And if you are using a different Oracle home owner name, then you can use that one. So our server is back here. Now let me restart or reconnect or take a duplicate session. And now no, Sanjay, you don't require to remember anything out of the script. So this will be there. You can just copy and paste in real time. In real time, you would be using this, but the best thing what we follow in real time is before we implement this kind of scripts in production environment, we will be first implementing into a test environment, or we call it as a test database. So whatever the changes you want to do in a production database, first you would be testing that on a test database. And if you feel that no errors are there, everything is fine, then only you will go and implement in production. So now I didn't started the database. Just now my server got restarted, but because I said prod_db to be automatically started, you can see while your server comes up, automatically prod_db started. Okay, but same thing, let us check for dev. And let me write the same select query, and you can see it says clearly that Oracle is not available. So because in Aura tab file, I specified for prod_db it should start automatically, but for dev_db it should not start automatically. That's the reason you can see for prod_db without doing anything it started the database, and we can even check the status of the database. But whereas for dev_db it is not the same case. Suppose if you now want dev_db also to be automated, just you need to edit this Aura tab file. So you need to open with vEditor and just change n to y. That's it. So automatically from the next time, both prod_db and dev_db also will start automatically. So like this, if you have 10 databases and for all of them you specified y, then all the 10 databases will be started automatically once you restart your OS. So any more queries? Okay, so this is how we are going to do the automation. So you can also follow the same steps and you can practice those things. So that is how we have So that is how we have the things. And I just have a meeting, with one of the managers. So I need to close the call for today at this position. So tomorrow we will continue with the other topics like multiplexing with redo log files and all of them. So anyone is having any questions before we close the call? Yeah, init 6 means you want to restart your Linux server. Init 0 means you want shutdown. Init 1 also for restart. Init 6 is also for restart. So for restarting you can use two commands, either init 1 or init 6. But for shutdown it will be init 0. Because from putty you don't have any button like to shut down or to start up. So that's the reason from putty, if you want to do that, then definitely you need to depend on these commands. I didn't get you, Sanjay. Can you please be clear? Do you mean to say is this restart process is good to apply in real time? Do you mean to say that? Yes, definitely. It is going to give you benefit only because on a server, if you have 20 databases, you cannot start, after and suppose due to some power issue or something the server went down, and when the server is coming up, if you want to start 20 databases one by one, definitely it will take some time. So whereas if you leave that job to Linux operating system, then the task will be completed very fast. So definitely in real time we will be implementing this. Okay. Okay. If you still have any questions, you can always write down an email. So thanks everyone for joining the call. Sorry for closing the call a bit early today. So we'll continue with the topics tomorrow. So thanks everyone and have a nice time till tomorrow.